Take a look at these numbers. They show the total carbon dioxide emissions per capita in Vietnam from 2018 to 2023. Although there was a slight decrease in 2022 due to the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, these figures continue to show an upward trend and they are forecasted to keep rising in 2024 and 2025. With the goal of achieving net zero by 2050, meaning the total amount of greenhouse gases Vietnam emits will be maximally reduced, with the remaining portion absorbed to balance out to a net zero level, the Vietnamese government has continuously enacted policy changes to minimize carbon emissions. Notable examples include the policy to strongly develop renewable energy and the establishment of a system for inventorying and controlling corporate greenhouse gas emissions. However, the effectiveness has not been significant and a tougher measure is needed, requiring a review of new solutions to genuinely reduce emissions and achieve the net zero 2050 goal. Therefore, VICO was born, a system with the goal of reducing carbon footprint of every Vietnamese citizen, contributing to the objectives set forth by the government. It's a personal carbon credit system, in which every citizen receives a legal cap on the maximum amount of carbon they can emit annually. To easily visualize how the system works, imagine you currently emit 3.5 tons of carbon annually. The VICO system will set your credit limit at 90% of that figure, approximately 3.15 tons. This means that next year, you must not exceed 3.15 tons of carbon emissions if you don't want to face legal consequences. This figure is customized based on each individual's current carbon output. For instance, if another individual currently emits a lower amount, say 3 tons, the personal limit would be set at around 2.7 tons. However, because not every individual can effectively adjust their carbon output, the system will also feature a cap and trade mechanism. For example, if your limit is 3.15 tons, but you successfully reduce your emission to 3.05 tons, you will have a surplus of 0.1 tons. This surplus can be sold to another individuals who were not successfully in reducing their footprints, forcing them to purchase additional credits to cover for the shortage. These features have incentive citizens to reduce emissions if they wish to avoid an annual expense, and conversely allows them to potentially increase their yearly income if they achieve effective reductions. The project implementation plan will be divided into 4 phases. Phase 1, Research and Platform Development. Focus on developing the VICO system, identifying methods to measure emitted carbon level, as well as obtaining the required permits and the legal approval from the government. Phase 2, Pilot Testing. Test the system in several small areas in Vietnam to ensure the practicality and effectiveness of VICO. Phase 3, Adjustment and Improvement. Based on the pilot testing results, make necessary changes and eliminate the system's shortcomings. Phase 4, Deployment and Expansion. Implement the system across all regions within the territory of Vietnam. However, the question currently posed is whether the system is feasible or not. Similar systems have been and are implemented in many countries worldwide, primarily targeting businesses within those nations. A prime example is the Carbon Emission Trading System (ETS), which was introduced in 2005 in the European Union with the goal of reducing greenhouse gas emissions. According to the European Commission, as of 2020, the system had contributed to an approximate 35% reductions in greenhouse gas emissions from the covered industry sectors. Given the rapid pace of technological development and evolving methods for managing complex systems, VICO is no longer a distant future and is likely to be implemented soon. In addition, the success of the system will depend on the cooperations of all Vietnamese people. Therefore, for a greener future, let's contribute to change, starting from the even smallest actions. And I'm Phạm Việt Dũng from Team VICO, Greentalk 2025. Thank you for watching.